Romeoville now needs to come up strong with their defense.
Jim McDonald kicking it off to Jason Scher. He gets it at the 15. It's hosted by a couple of Spartan defenders at about the, well, with the forward progress, they'll take them at about the 28-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Redhawks.
Well, again, the scoring by the three big guys from Central. Again, Jim Tumulty in his brand new whites again. They'll take care of that pretty quick.
Tumulty, first play from scrimmage, cuts it up across midfield into Spartan territory, still going. Dives at about the 30, and they're going to spot him out of bounds at the 35, and we're going to take another look at Jim Tumulty. Over here to the near side now, 1st and 10 from the 35. Lavery to Tumulty again. Tumulty will pick up about 4 as he just dives over the middle to the 31. 2nd down and 6.
Again, I think that's a wise move on Coach Bungie, getting these guys, getting Jim Tumulty and Jason, excuse me, and Tim Lavery both, get them in some brand new pants, keep them warm, get that mud off of them. The big guys up front, they don't care. The muddier the better. But the key players here, Lavery and Tumulty, obviously went in, did a little wardrobe change, and back out for the second half. I think it's a wise move by Coach Bungie.
2nd down and 7. Lavery fakes it to Tumulty under pressure. The left-hander gets it off, intended to Scher. Touchdown.
Jason Scher. I told you Jason would make up for those first couple of calls that he had at the end of that first half. Great catch. And again, Scher, Lavery, all 3 guys doing it on that particular drive, Mark. 4 plays, boom, right in the end zone.
31-yard touchdown strike, and here it is. Lavery off balance.
Off to his left side again. The ball just kind of hung up there. Scher goes up for it, and he's the one who's going to come down with it.
Jason Scher's 15th touchdown of the season.
I think that was a little bit more than his average, too, of almost 20 yards a catch. So Jason having a good night after getting off to a little bit of a slow start.
Coach Joe Bungie going for the 2-point conversion here. 3 wideouts here to the near side. Lavery under some pressure, and he's going to get wrapped up in the backfield. The 2-point conversion fails. 10 minutes and 42 seconds left to play here in quarter number 3. We'll keep it here with Naperville Central on top by 12, 26-14. And Todd,
I think that first scare certainly has helped them in their composure with coming back from a 14-0 deficit here against Romeoville.
Pollock. This is Dan Simic. And Simic breaks a couple of tackles over here to the near side across midfield. Actually, that's number 47, Ryan Taylor, Todd. And he, with a brilliant return, gets into Naperville Central territory.
Well, again, he is the player who hasn't had the ball on the offense for the Spartans. And obviously, by that particular run back, he getting the ball down to the Red Hawk 44. Here he is. He comes right up the middle. Just the entire defense collides around him. But nobody, Pollock, the only safety player back there for the stop. But Taylor, I think, is a key in this second half for Romeoville to get the ball in his hands, so he can do some things with it.
1st and 10 now from the 45. Jesielowski on the option. Gets it to Simic, but Simic is going to get wrapped up. Josh Hawkins was there at about the 49. That play just never developed from the beginning, Todd.
Well, it was slow moving, and that first fake handoff to Bronowski, and then as Jesielowski was going down, he just, last minute got the ball back to Simic. So that play was, again, they let the defense converge, and the way those defensive ends are playing tonight, Hawkins and Grolke, they're, a slow developing play is not going to work against the Red Hawk defense tonight.
Loss of 4. It'll be 2nd down and 14 from the 49. Jesielowski to the air. Far side and incomplete.
James Holick almost with the pick there, just stepped right in front of it, but again, the bad footing out on those sidelines. Holick couldn't make a break on the ball like he normally probably would have been able to, so the ball falls incomplete.
Third down and 14. 9:27 to go in the third. It's 26-14 Redhawks. Central was down 14-0. 26 unanswered points here to lead by 12.
Well, it's getting muddier and muddier, Mark.
And a little bit colder, too. Third down and 14. Jasiolowski under some pressure, gets it off. Intercepted. Looks like that's Williams, number 32.
32, DJ Johnson.
DJ Johnson, excuse me.
Out in the corner. Bad throw by Jasiolowski. He rolls off to his right. He's going to get hit by a Red Hawk defender, puts the ball up, just floats it out there. The only person around that ball was Johnson. And he comes up with the first interception for the Red Hawks of the evening. So the ball, again, goes back into the hands of the Red Hawk
Couple
offense.
people, Todd, excuse me, outside watching this ball game.
Did they
free of charge?
But I still see a couple of empty chairs.
Tumulty, no gain. Back to the line of scrimmage. I love it. There's nothing.
Irwig, Cade, and Corey Stevens.
Lavery to the air. He's looking for more. Up top, incomplete to Tumulty.
Did you see that? Did you see how he just stretched out? I mean, he never gives up. He never gives up on a ball, and that ball was just out of his grasp. Beautiful time. They're not going to change their uniform at all. Romeoville faking the blitz.
Third and long, Lavery. It's complete, and it's going to be a first down for Naperville Central.
Tumulty
again, yep. Gain of 13 on the play. It'll be first and 10 for the Redhawks.
Well, they needed 12. They sent Tumulty right across the first down marker, and Tim Lavery just rocketed a bullet right into his belly. And Tumulty comes up with the catch. First down, Redhawks.
We've seen a big second half against the Downer South Mustangs by the defense, forcing 4 turnovers. We see the interception so far here in the second half by DJ Johnson. Red Hawk defense coming alive here, but no gain offensively here for Naperville Central that time.
Yeah, Galloway with the stick there. That play just had ugly written all over it. And no blocking whatsoever up front on that particular play. But that's about the first letdown the offensive line has had in the second half here. It looked like the Spartans came up with an answer to that particular play. It was going to go up the middle.
There you see the numbers. 26-14, 7:35 to play here in the third. Second down and 15 for Lavery and the Redhawks. He rolls out here, going to the air again under some pressure, eludes one tackle, but finally brought down number 40 defensively. That's Bobby Irvin, a 6', 195-pound junior. Brings down Lavery. Well,
Galloway is having a lot of opportunity coming from that inside linebacking spot for Romeoville and applying pressure. There doesn't seem to be a Red Hawk defender assigned, and there can't be when you send 4 people deep on a blitzing or a slow blitzing linebacker like Galloway's been doing most of the night. So he applied the pressure to Lavery. It made him step up, and the defense just collapsed around him for the sack.
Third and 19 as Lavery hands it off to Tumulty on the delay. Tumulty is going to be short of the first down as he gets across to the 32-yard line, and the Redhawks will punt it away here with 6:29 to play in the third.
And Jim Tumulty in that patented walk off the field, but quite a series for him and the Redhawks. Just getting back to the line of scrimmage on that particular play, but they don't have a punter back there. They're waiting for Troy to get his hands dry. Actually, he's giving his gloves to Jerry Cutt, his buddy on the offensive line. Can't do that when you're punting. You can't have those gloves on.
Reggie Denard standing back at his own 32-yard line. Monson, a low line drive. It'll roll inside the 30 and stop at about the 25-yard line. Not a good punt, but good results that time for Monson.
Hey, when you get a 42-yard punt, no matter how it gets down there.
For the Romeoville Spartans. And we're going to have a whistle before this play develops.
Grolke's given the signal. It's a legal procedure against Romeoville, so the Spartans just haven't had anything going their way here in this second half. Actually, since they got up 14 points, it's basically been all central offense and their defense since that early part of the game, portion of the game.
1st and 15 now from their own 25.5 left to play in the third. Jesielowski across the middle. Pass is complete to Keith Olson, the tight end, and he gets across to the 34-yard line. It'll be a couple yards shy the first down.
Well, that is only the second completed pass by Jesielowski. The other one being the 67-yard touchdown pass to number 45, Reggie Denard, about the third play from scrimmage. So the yards have come few and far between for Romeoville since the opening part of that first period.
Second down and call it 2 now for the Spartans. The pitch is to Simic, I believe. It's hard to
That's a good call, Mark. We're going to have to go on by sight now, and it's the little guy in the backfield is Simic, and the big guy is Bernowski. So
that's it. Unless
they put a new white shirt back there, that's what we're going with.
All righty, fair enough. And he's going to get the first down for the Spartans.
Well, the offensive stats for the Spartans haven't been too astounding since those first 2 touchdowns. Again, the 67-yard pass to Denard, and Bernowski has 11 carries through the first half for only 22 yards. So they're coming hard for the Spartans tonight.
Jesielowski on play action will gun it, and is it complete?
I think that ball bounced.
It looked like it bounced. We may get another look at it to number 45, Reggie Denard. We're going to take another look at it here. We'll see if it bounces right in front of Reggie Denard or not. Here's another look at it.
Well, again, Jesielowski rolling out opposite hand. Ball comes up right there, incomplete to Denard. It looks like he caught it on a short hop. Was a little bit upset, and he's now conversing with the referee again, or the umpire, excuse me. But I don't think to any avail. And that was a tough call, but it was right in front of the Naperville Central bench, and Coach Bungie was giving the "I don't think he caught it" sign. Wonder if there's any influence there.
Coming up on the 4-minute mark of this third quarter, 26-14 in favor of Naperville Central. 2nd down and 10 now for the Spartans. Jesielowski looking over that Red Hawk defense, and he'll go to the air. Gets flushed out here, coming from behind.
Here comes Spicer.
And it's loose. Spiker, number 54, caused the ball to go loose. We'll see who picks it up.
I think they need to get a backhoe to get
David Spiker coming from behind, Todd, and here it is again.
Spicer with the great pursuit, gets it right there at the end as he was getting ready to throw the ball, but his arm wasn't in motion, so I couldn't tell which Romeoville player ended up with the ball, but he was about 4 inches deep in the mud, and that's why I said they may need a backhoe to get him out of there.
3rd down now, and a 13 situation here for the Spartans from the 33. Into the air, Jesielowski now under heavy pressure, gets it out into the flat.
We're going to have a flag, Mark.
And Simic, I believe, bear with us, folks, it's hard to pick up the numbers here, but Tom mentioned a flag in the backfield, and it's going to be against Romeoville.
Well, even the referee doesn't want to throw the flag in the mud. He just kind of waved it out there, and illegal motion against the Spartans, so that's going to bring that big gain, negate the big gain. And Coach Bungie's saying, send them back, send them back.
Penalties have been hurting the Spartans here in the second half. There'll be a 3rd down and 18 now from the 28 as they push it back 5.
Well, I think the battle of who is the muddiest, I don't know. Who do you think it goes to at this point, Mark?
Well, I tell you what, Grolke was in contention.
Spicer came up big on that last one.
Gerald Cutt, too, is
right. The offensive
I think
tackle.
He's one of the finalists also.
Yeah.
In that camp.
Well, there's a couple of guys over there on the Romeoville side that we can't even tell what their number is. So I think the right guard, he may be it. Andy Knapp, I don't know. That's not what's important, though.
In any event, though, it's third and a whole bunch, 18. And Jesse Olowski airs it out. Pass is caught by Keith Olson, number 89.
Well, nice
to be shy Todd at the first down.
Yeah, nice delivery there that time by Jesse Olowski. And Olson coming across the middle. It's going to be 4th and 6. So in comes Denard again. Looks like we're going to see another punt by Reggie Denard.
And the yard lines are starting to disappear right around the midfield area. Ball at the 30-yard line.
Well, they didn't appear too clear when we were here at the beginning of the game. I think
O'Shea and Cleary are back for the Red Hawks. It's going to be O'Shea from his 27. About an 8-yard return to the 38-yard, actually a 10-yard return. 1:46 to play, and this Naperville Central crowd applauding the defensive unit for the Red Hawks.
Well, they should. They got down early. They didn't let themselves get down on themselves, and have come back to provide quite a spark for the Naperville Central Red Hawks tonight. They did it in the second game of the series against Downers Grove, as we spoke of before, and they've come back here being down and provided a huge spark for the squad.
The pitch to Tumulty. Tumulty will cut back. He's into Romeoville territory. He could go all the way, 40, 35, and finally brought down at the 33-yard line. This is just an absolute show by Tumulty.
27 yards on that particular run, and he used the entire muddy field to get there. I mean, again, that guy is the heart and soul. If you could have a squad of 10 guys, you probably want 10 guys or 11 guys just like Jim Tumulty. And I think they've got that with the, he rubs off on all these players. Just quite an inspiration, again, with that bad knee. Hurt at the beginning of the season. Sat out a couple of games, but coming back with, over huge numbers this year.
1st and 10. Here he is again. Stretches out to the 27-yard line. Be a gain of 4. 2nd down and 6 with 54 seconds to play here in the 3rd.
Well, he's got to be over. Yep, he's got 163 yards, as our crack statistician team just handed it to us. So he had 163 tonight through 3 periods. He had 135 last week against Naperville North. The week before that against Downers South, he had 180. And we haven't even started talking about touchdowns yet. So, and we've still got a quarter and a half to go, or a little bit more than 1 quarter to go.
2nd down now for Lavery as he looks over this Spartan defense. 2nd down and 5, and we're going to have a whistle.
I think, again, the audible that Lavery was trying to call at the line of scrimmage with the defense that Romeoville had presented to them, didn't have an opportunity to make the call and then reset the offense and get the play off. So they'll back him up another 5. Going to put the ball, I think, at about the 31-yard line.
19 seconds to play. It'll be 2nd down and 10 now from the 33. Lavery over into the corner for
Guess
Jason
who?
Scher. Touchdown. Lavery to Jason Scher, a 33-yard touchdown strike. And Todd, we've seen that so many times this year.
Well, we've seen it 3 times tonight, Mark, and a 2-point conversion. So, again, Jason Scher, looks like we have a penalty flag down.
Well, hold everything here. Flag on the play.
As they sort it out.
Oh, against Naperville Central, so they'll bring it back.
Going to bring it back, and I think again it's going to be on Jason Scher, who came up with the catch. Maybe that's why he was so free in the end zone down there. No. Well, Scher's had his problems tonight, but he certainly made up for it in the receiving category. Again, 2 touchdowns here. Just seems to be his number tonight with the penalties, but that one certainly hurt them. I mean, obviously a touchdown brought back a 32-yard touchdown reception that was negated. So I'm sure he's going to hope that doesn't come back to bite him here a little later.
4 wideouts for the Redhawks.
Comes the blitz.
Lavery gets away, and the pass is incomplete, intended for Jim Tumulty at the 20-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 15 with 8 seconds to play here in the 3rd.
Well, that was a nice play defensively by Ryan Taylor, stepping right in front of Tumulty at the last moment, stick his hand in and just deflect the ball away, because again Tumulty was in position to make the catch, and a nice pass by Lavery got it there, but Ryan stuck his hand in the last minute.
Again, the winner of tonight's game moves on to the championship game to face either York or Wheaton Warrenville South, and that ball game will be played tomorrow night in Elmhurst. They're down Lavery. It's complete to Tumulty. And look at him just plow into the defender at the 24-yard line.
Well, he got turned around. He got to about the 25-yard line, got stopped. 4th down, and the crowd is saying go for it. 4th and about 2 yards, less than 2 yards it looks like. But Tumulty did a great job to only make it to make it only 4th and less than 2.
So we've played 3 quarters here at Memorial Stadium. Coach Joe Bunge's Redhawks lead it by a score of 26-14, and Todd and I will be back for the 4th quarter.
Monson has kept the offense of the Spartans down, so it's a full team effort tonight.
Tumulty gets the first down for the Redhawks as he cut back to the inside to pick up that first down.
Again, that was a long 2 yards, and again on 4th down in this big defensive line that they have up front, Tumulty gets the pitch way in the backfield, so he's got to make up a lot of yardage. Made a couple of people miss and just dove far enough, and he said, that's a first down.
Yeah, we got another
inside the 20. They're going to spot it at the 19-yard line.
What's the hat?
And another touchdown here, Todd, could pretty much ice this one.
Boy, that put him up. Oh, Lavery fumbled that snap. Looks like he mishandled the snap there again. They had one other mishandled snap in the first period where Tumulty had to come up with the ball after it shot between Lavery's legs. So it looked like that one might have been a mishandled one, but luckily Tim picked the ball up and moved it forward about 2 yards.
2nd down and 8 now for Coach Joe Bunge and the Redhawks.
All right.
Lavery rolling out here to the near side across the middle.
Man.
Touchdown.
There's your tight end again.
Todd Grutbeck. 6'4" junior tight end, number 82, Todd Grotbeck. 17-yard touchdown strike. Lavery to Grotbeck, and Naperville Central in control.
Well, I think I see the buses lining up for Illinois State. I don't know. But if they can come up with the conversion here, that puts them they're up 12 right now.
Gronenboom, Todd, is going to come in for the extra point attempt.
Excuse me, they're up 18 now. And two-point. Gronenberg's coming in for the 2-point conversion, or the kick.
Yeah, yep.
Excuse me. This is the first kicking extra point we've seen all night.
And they're going to pitch it to Gronenboom. He's going to run it to the far side and score.
That was a set play.
Yep, sure was.
They weren't going to kick it. That's why I was so stunned to see the.
We're going to show it again. The holder just pitched it to Gronenboom. Here it is, the tail end of it.
And Gronenboom just the Spartan defense wasn't ready for that, and Gronenboom just scoots off to the side. So
we'll keep it here, Todd, with 10:51 to play in this one, and Naperville Central has opened up with a 20-point lead.
Well, it's looking awful good for the Spartans, or excuse me, for the Redhawks right now. And it's like potentially a long, muddy ride back to Romeoville for the Spartans. But again, you just cannot discount this team when they get down. They've been down a couple of times, and again at a couple of key times. And again, I think I said it in the first game when they were down, and ultimately came back to beat Hinsdale Central by a score of, I think it was 21-19, just a 2-point squeaker. But I thought that maybe down the road it might help the team mature a little bit. And again, I think it showed this evening when they got down by 14 points. They didn't panic. They got a couple of offensive play. I mean, it almost looked like a carbon copy of that game. A couple of games that they played, they got down, lost a fumble, but they put it all together here, and they've come up with 34 unanswered points since the midway through the first period.
First and 10 now for Romeoville as they trail by 20 with 10:46 left to play.
So where is Illinois State, Mark?
I was hoping you'd tell me.
Oh. Isn't that in Carbondale?
I believe so.
Okay. You know how to get there?
No, I'll follow you.
Okay. We'll be behind those buses.
First and 10 Spartans from their own 31. Jesielowski now has to put some points on the board, but he's going to go nowhere. Number 44, that was Josh Hawkins, bringing him down for the sack.
Again, one of the keys that we mentioned earlier is the play of Hawkins and Grolke on the corner, on the outside of that defensive line, and they have just come up big all night. And again, the defensive team has gelled over the past couple of weeks. They've certainly gotten a lot better since I think we saw them way back in September when they really didn't have to do much against that Naperville North team. Early on, got up 28 points, and the North squad was back on their heels. But this defense has certainly come alive, especially in the playoffs, and they're going to be a tough squad to beat.
Second down and 10. This is the fullback Bernaski, a minimal gain. It'll bring up a third down situation here with 9:32 to play here from Memorial Stadium. Mark Kruger and Todd Kibbe, glad to bring you this Class 6A semifinal contest here on Jones Intercable.
Can you imagine playing 14 football games and not losing on one of them? These guys in the red the black and red, have an opportunity to do that. That's quite speaks volumes of Coach Bungie, his squad, and the way these players have put this year together.
Third down now for Romeoville. Call it 9 yards. And Jesielowski to the air again. And it's well overthrown. It'll bring up fourth down for the Spartans.
Well, I don't know, Mark. About 9 minutes left. Do you leave your starters in if you're Coach Bungie?
Yeah, it's a tough situation here. You're up 20. I think you got to let it go at least under 4 minutes, maybe. You got to keep them out there a little bit more.
Maybe one more series?
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be a good opportunity to get some of these younger kids playoff experience, because you never know when somebody may go down and have to step up big, especially going down to playing in a state playoff final game, championship game. It'd be unfortunate if somebody on the starting squad would go down, but you never know if that could happen. And you certainly don't want to have everyone prepared. They've got nobody back.
Yeah, Reggie Denard punting it. Naperville Central has nobody back, and it will stop at the 33-yard line, and Naperville Central will take over. 8:46 left to play before Naperville Central will go downstate.
Well, again, they've overcome the curse of being #1 all season, Mark, and it looks like they're going to be able to take that #1 ranking that they've held all the way since the beginning of September downstate, and maybe, just maybe, play one of their old rivals from not too far up the street here, the Wheaton-Warrenville Tigers, Wheaton-Warrenville South Tigers, playing tomorrow against York. And again, we mentioned it earlier, quite an accomplishment of the DVC if they could get 2 teams in the final game of the 6A playoffs.
Lavery pitches to Tumulty. Tumulty will cut back and still get about 7 yards, 6 or 7 yards on the play. You mentioned the DVC. They are 8-1 right now in the postseason. Of course, the only loss was when Naperville Central defeated Naperville North last week.
Yeah. Again, you put 3 teams out of 32 in the brackets, and it's just a phenomenal record, and 8-1. And again, when the 2 have to play in the quarterfinals, somebody's going to go down. But again, we would wish all the luck to the other team in the DVC here tomorrow night. And
Lavery pitches back.
Guess who?
He gets inside the Spartan territories. He dives to the 49-yard line, and we're going to take another look at it here. This is vintage Jim Tumulty once again.
I think this is the kind of game Jim likes to play. It's muddy, it's wet, but he's just having one hell of a game. And there he goes, diving across the 45-yard line, excuse me, the 50-yard line. And again, it's just quite a testimony to the way this team's been pulled together.
Interesting that ball game tomorrow night as Wheaton South travels to York. If you're back in 1992, that's when they eliminated York 17-14, and Wheaton South went on to that state championship back in 1992. As we've got a flag on this play here. 7:13 left to play.
Offsides on the defense, it looks like.
Yep, against the Spartans.
Here comes the new Jason Shear, new and improved. That's a tiny version. They got three little guys running around here. Number 2, number 10, and number 4. They're the ball boys. Do a great job. Wonder who their heroes are.
It'll be 1st and 5 now for the Redhawks at the 44. 34-14 in favor of Coach Joe Bunge's Redhawks.
Again, I think you run this series out, and then you sit these guys down and give them a good pat on the back and say, "Get ready for next week, fellas. We're gonna make a nice long trip, and we're not going to have to play in this mud again."
Tumulty dives to another first down as they'll spot it at about the 38-yard line. Yeah, they won't have to play no more mud, no more... Well, I was going to say no more ice and snow, but you never know.
You never know. It's going to be a Thanksgiving Day festival down there at ISU for... maybe the DVC, at least for the Redhawks of Naperville Central.
Under 7 minutes, 6:36 to play. 1st and 10 Redhawks. As they'll keep it on the ground, Tumulty dives close to the 35-yard line, perhaps a gain of 3 yards. 2nd down and 7.
Well, you knew he'd do it. In the first half, he got his uniform completely covered, and comes out in the second half with a brand new uniform, and now it's completely covered too by the end of the game. So it's just, again, the type of player that Jim Tumulty is.
And I really think they put it all together a week ago, Todd, against Naperville North. The first play from scrimmage, Tumulty fumbled it a week ago. Naperville North scored, but after that, they put together one solid football game, and that's carried over into this week here.
Oh, nice catch.
Touchdown, Naperville Central.
Kevin Cade over his shoulder. Beautifully thrown ball by Tim Lavery. Unbelievable catch by Kevin Cade.
Take another look at it here. Lavery airs it out to Kevin Cade. Here
Tumulty does a nice job of picking up the linebacker, and Lavery just lays the ball right out there over the shoulder. Kevin Cade, touchdown Redhawks. See ya at Illinois State.
40-14 in favor of Naperville Central.
Right before that, I was handed a stat that said Jim Tumulty has 196 yards tonight, Mark. 196 yards on one leg.
And his night should be done.
Unless you want to get him that 200 yards. I don't. I think at this point you save him and you just sit him down and say, get ready for next week, Jim. And everybody on that first team.
Groenenboom in for the extra point. He will kick it this time. No fake that time. The extra point is good by Groenenboom. So there's 5 minutes and 50 seconds left to play here at Memorial Stadium. We'll take a timeout here with Naperville Central well in front, 41-14. And Todd and I will be back here to Naperville Central right after this. Friday, Mark Kruger and Todd Kibbe back at Memorial Stadium. Naperville Central well on top in this semi-final ball game, 41-14 over the Romeoville Spartans. Pollock getting off a pretty good kick. Spartan return man, and I'm sorry, I do not have a number for you. Gets it to the 31-yard line.
Hey, our job just got a heck of a lot easier. We got some white pants and white numbers that aren't completely caked, and Jeff Buckler, Nick Paleo, DJ Johnson coming off the field, Holick, O'Shea. Everybody on that offense, Hawkins, Spicer, Grolke. They're all getting their they're getting a well-deserved rest. They have played one heck of a ball game.
Want to get paid? I couldn't remember how much she must.
So Jesiolowski and the Romeoville Spartans see if they can possibly get some more points on the board. Jesiolowski gets it complete to, I believe it's Keith Olson, number 89.
Yeah, it looks like Olson, and Pollock comes up with the tackle. Pollock's been doing the duties for the kickoff. Just was handed a couple of stats again. We just said right before the break, Tumulty with 196 yards.
This is Jack.
Tim Lavery's not having a bad night either in the mud. 11 for 16, 183 yards in the air, 4 throwing touchdowns, and 1 rushing touchdown. So
Tim Lavery, who is also one heck of a baseball player, from what I understand, a fine left-handed pitcher. Texas A&M, one of the schools looking to acquire him as a baseball player.
Wow.
Certainly not a bad football player either. Jesiolowski now with some pretty good time, and is it picked off? Number 55.
He's got it.
Looks like, oh no,
Incomplete.
Say it's going to hit the ground. Christopher Gallione had it and then lost it.
Linebacker, 5'11" senior. We'll take another look at it.
Jesiolowski back in the pocket, gets hit and knocks it around a couple of times, but it looked like it hit the ground right before he could come up with the handle. Well, I guess they're not giving their defense up.
Coach Joe Bucky, he's going to put his starters back in there, and all the muddy guys are back in there.
I think we know them by figure this time.
Right.
You know, we can tell who they are by the way they walk and whatnot. So hopefully the call won't be too bad.
5 minutes, Todd, here. 4 minutes, 50 seconds to play. Second down and 10 now for Jesiolowski as he hands it off to Bernaski. Bernaski gets maybe a yard on the play.
You know what happened? I split it with my daughter. We bought tickets together.
Well, again, just the defense is just, after those first 2 touchdowns, have been just a force out there. They have not, you know, that's a huge offensive line. The center is, Hale is only 185 pounds. Everybody else is over 205, but they have just been completely manhandled by the defensive line of the Red Hawks. I mean, Spicer and Fortuno and Schmentek have just done a fantastic job. Hawkins and Grolke on the outside, Paleo and Buckler in the middle, and then the D-backs, Johnson, Holick, O'Shea, and Cleary have just had a heck of a game.
Third down and 8, a little razzle-dazzle. Dan Simic, the ball carrier, the fake reverse, gets to about the 30. First down for the Spartans.
Well, again, at this late hour, defense is a little bit back on their heels a little bit. They, getting up, putting the yardage together now. Again, Romeoville, you got to give them a hand for getting here. They've had 11 straight wins. they're a quality football team. They just came up against a squad again that's been ranked #1 all year, and that's a tall order when you come in anything less than perfect conditions. And they did a good job right off the bat, but just haven't had the answers here after that first period.
Jesse Olowski will keep it himself and pick up some pretty good yardage, tackled by Rocky O'Shea, but he gets about 8 yards. And one thing I wanted to bring up, Todd, is you mentioned right at the beginning of the year, Naperville Central ranked #1, and they knew week in and week out everyone was going to try to knock them off, and they've certainly met every challenge week in, week out to regain and stay on top.
Yeah, that's a tough spot to be in. That's just so difficult to do. You don't see it happening too often. Somebody always gets knocked off, whether high school, college level basketball, football. That #1 spot is so hard to get. Well, #1, but then to maintain #2 the entire season. It's just phenomenal how each week the Red Hawk squad has been up for the challenge, whoever they've had to face, and they keep coming back and have done a fantastic job.
Just a reminder that tonight's game is being brought to you by the Beacon News at 101 South River Street in Aurora. Subscribe today to the Beacon News with just over 3 minutes left to play.
Well, let's take just a brief moment to thank all the people who have been helping us. You saw one of our cameramen, Todd Becker, who's been up since 3 a.m. doing a little side work on the radio. Tim Valentine up there also. Fred Prigge down in the truck, assistant director, producer, Brian Aprati on graphics, and of course, the lady we love, Lisa Aprati, our producer director.
And now the starting defensive unit is going to come off the field here. They get a big hand from this Naperville Central crowd.
They make our job so easy, and it's just a privilege to work with all these people. You too, Mark. I haven't had an opportunity to say that, but had a great year.
It's been a pleasure, and we hopefully will have just as good a time doing some basketball games this year.
I certainly hope so.
Boy, we are getting some flack from the people down in the truck, Todd.
Really? See, I can't hear. I'm sure I'll pick it up a little bit later, but I think we need to focus on what's going on down here. Got just a team that is going to go 13-0. They are going to take their #1 ranking all the way downstate and play in probably one of the biggest games in their lives to date. An undefeated season, a #1 ranking, and to complete it, to complete the Triple Crown, come away with that state championship, 6A, for the state of Illinois.
Jesse Lasco getting flushed out here. He gets it complete right at about the 5-yard line with 2:51 to play, and we'll take another look at it.
Well, again, the second unit in with the first unit from Romeoville. Jesse Olowski flushed out of the pocket, delivers the ball down to Taylor. I think that's number 47, Ryan Taylor, right at about the 5-yard line. And so it's
first and goal, Todd, from the 5. See if the Romeoville Spartans can punch it in.
Yeah. Again, I think it's going to take the equipment manager about a week to get these clothes clean.
Have to find out what type of detergent he uses.
Yeah. Wonder if they'll be wearing red or white next week. They wear the white pants all the time, so.
Jesse Olowski throws over the middle and incomplete. No one around really for Romeoville. It'll be second down and goal with 2:21.
Well, this gives a good opportunity for the second squad to get out there and at least get a little bit of playing time. And if one of the, if the misfortune of one of the starters goes down, just step right up there.
Just a reminder that tonight's game is being brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Nobody knows like Domino's, and I'm sure, Todd Kimmy, you're going to be ordering a Domino's Pizza after this one.
Of course I'll have a Domino's Pizza after this. I can't remember the number, though. Do you know it?
369, 5,800 is the number, I believe. Second and goal. Back to the 5-yard line, back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be third down and goal, just over 2 minutes, 2:07 to play in this game.
Well, Simic doing a good job trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. And again, Romeoville certainly doesn't have anything to be ashamed of. They've obviously come up against a much more polished team that has been on when they had to be on.
Averaging 35 points per game, only 14 points tonight. They've come into a Red Hawk defense that is playing very, very well.
Yeah, and this is the time that you want your defense playing that way. And nothing against the Spartans from Romeoville. I'm sure they'll be proud with that record.
Jesse Olowski handed it off to his fullback Bernowski and then just kind of bear hugged him and tried to push him across the goal line. Didn't get there though.
But again, 11-2 is quite a impressive record in itself. And but it's still the Red Hawks night.
Didn't start out that way in this ball game as Romeoville jumped out quickly to a 14-0 lead, and then, my gosh, it's just like a night and day. 41 straight points for Naperville Central.
Yeah, and Romeoville didn't come up with any answer defensively. They had the good fortune of picking up a fumble off of Jim Tumulty's run, but.
Fourth and 2. This is Dan Simic, and he will get in. Tailback diving over the end zone for a Romeoville score, 41-20. And here we'll take another look at it. The pitch to Simic.
Well, Simic been doing majority of the work tonight, he and Bernowski, and a little bit of frustration there, but at least they got it over the end zone. And again, a big plus for not giving up. This Romeoville squad didn't give up. They've got guys out there whose numbers we can't see, and they've been out there all night. But they obviously are a very proud squad, and going 11-2 in this day and age is something to be extremely proud of.
So now Romeoville will come in for the 1-point conversion. Roy McDaniel.
Well, Coach Bungie just got the Gatorade bath.
Extra point attempt is good for Romeoville, and Lisa, if we can get a shot at Coach Joe Bungie, who just got doused by some Gatorade.
He just, I think the defensive unit there, the real muddy guys, gave him a little bath, but I don't think it's going to really bother him right about now. With what he gets to look forward to this entire week, relish the fact that he's going to be able to take this team into the 6A, the jewel of the Illinois High School Association football game, and just quite a job that he's done this year for the Red Hawks. And they
20-point lead now for Naperville Central, 41-21 with 38 seconds left to play.
They're cleaning up around us, Mark.
Naperville Central will move on to the title game, and what an outstanding year this has been for Coach Joe Bungie.
Well, I think he's going to have to give Memorial Field here. Well, and as I say that, the crowd, the fans, are getting ready to, it looks like, make a mad dash.
There you see Coach Joe Bungie kind of
a little shimmering.
Off. Yeah, he's
shimmering a little bit.
Be a little cold tonight, but I'm sure he will definitely not worry about it.
I was going to say the field is going to have an opportunity after tonight to get it in some good shape, because it's certainly been a mess for the past week. But we've also got the student body contingent just about ready to to make a move on it too. So
there's going to be some mud as the onside kick attempt, as Naperville Central will smother and fall all over on it at midfield, and there's going to be some muddy students after this one.
Yeah, muddy students and some mad mothers, I believe.
38 seconds left to play, perhaps one more play.
Kevin Pirith going in to do the quarterback detail for Naperville Central.
Naperville Central started out this postseason by knocking off Hinsdale Central 21-19. And then they beat Downer South 40-21. A week ago, they knocked off Naperville North 35-12. And now tonight, in the semifinals, they will knock off the Romeoville Spartans 41-21 to move to the championship game next Saturday afternoon.
Just a fantastic ball game. The way that the Red Hawks came back after being in a 14-0 deficit, kind of stunned right out of the box. But they certainly put it all together, scoring 41 points and just doing a fantastic job. Giving them the opportunity to make their first trip down to Carbondale and Illinois State University to play at Hancock Field. Quite a thrill for these guys.
For Romeoville, well, they lost their first game of the season, and they're going to lose their last game of the season. They're going to end up 11-2. For Naperville Central, they will move on to the championship game with an undefeated 13-0 record, and we certainly want to wish Coach Joe Bungie well next Saturday. They will play the winner of the York-Wheaton-Warrenville South semi-final game played tomorrow night in Elmhurst. So that'll do it here. And Todd, give me some final thoughts tonight.
Well, it's just a fantastic season that we've had an opportunity to see all the teams in this area play some football. But to get to the semifinal game in Naperville Central, playing the way that they have, just coming together at the right time at the end of the year, it's good to see. It's great to see, because at this level of the game, high school football is still played for fun, and they just, it's the kids are out there and they're working their butts off. They're trying to make the grades and do all the distractions that 16, 17, and 18-year-old kids do, and that's what these guys are. They're just they're young guys, they're young kids, but they put it all together, gone 13-0, and